Thank you all for coming along. I don't want to take this too seriously, but I'm going to question some of your beliefs here today. You may disagree, fine. We can have a good discussion. You may agree, great. Let's keep going. But I just want to go through this experience that people do when they want to integrate their systems, and I really want to sort of question why we actually have this manual in the first place. So let's just make a start into just a little bit about me. So that's my details there. Link it with me on LinkedIn. I post every day to LinkedIn different articles and different things. So that if you post in with me on LinkedIn, those will display on your newsfeed, and I hopefully post a whole lot of stuff about integrated management systems. Jump onto Twitter. We post 2 or 3 times a day as well, with great articles as well. And Facebook, we also post daily on Facebook as well. So part of our philosophy at Mango is we want to give away our knowledge. And you'll see I've been doing this since about 1987, and I just want to provide as much information to the community and get everybody's capabilities and competencies up. So jump onto any of those, link in, send a request to join with me on any of those there, particularly on LinkedIn, and tell me that you're at the conference. So just 4 things I want to cover off today. The first one is this we've got a real challenge with these documented systems, and we'll just go through some of the points I want to bring up on that point. I'll talk about the benefits of integrating your systems and having one management system, which I'm sure you've heard 10 times already in some of the presentations. I'll tell you how to create the manual, the real guts of it. And at the end, of course, with marketing, we're going to give you a free giveaway. So we'll give you a free giveaway at the end of the day. Okay, just a little bit about Mango. You may have passed us on the booth down there. So we've been around since 2002. We have clients all over the world. So we cover off all of these different standards, food safety, and we use Mango in an integrated way. So we've built Mango from the beginning for it to be integrated. So it's not a quality, it's not a health and safety, it's an integrated system. We have over 600 companies around the world using it in over 20 countries. And we have 20 partners reselling our software for us. Subscribe to my blog as well, so I blog twice a week. At the moment, our company Mango is going through ISO 9001 certification. And so we're blogging about our journey, and we're going through it clause by clause, and we're putting up on the blog how we met each clause of the ISO 9001 standard. So if you want to subscribe to the blog, and you'll get an update as we go through of how we're trying to achieve that. But at the same time, we are putting in our quality management system as well at the same time. So all of us are all quality managers, so no one wanted to be the manager that read the email. So the person that wasn't in the room was voted on that. Jump on, so I onto my email list there, and I run monthly or sometimes twice a month. I run webinars. You can just jump on, they're free. Next one is on the 1st of December, and that's how to create safe work method statements. So that's something that's coming into New Zealand. I'm spotting it as we're going through different customers, and they're getting a bit confused about what are these safe work method statements. And even in Australia, it's confusing for them, and they've been doing it for years. So I've got an Australian expert who's actually an accredited government auditor for health and safety. He goes around and does all this for the government. So he's actually going to be on the webinar telling us about these things. Jump onto our website. At the end, this is the free giveaway. You can download a 59-page free integrated management system manual if you want to. So I'll show you how to do that. So my quality journey started out at Massey University. So Massey seems to be pretty popular in this conference. So I started in 1983, did my food technology course, and I'm a food technologist even though I've never actually used the degree. And I did papers in quality, so I got quite excited about quality because my first job was a QC inspector for this company here, a record and Common. And you may know some of those brands there. Does anyone remember this one in the bottom right corner? Magic mushroom. Anybody?
I'm looking like that.
Anybody remember that product? In the late 80s, this came from America. It's a little wee mushroom that you pulled the tape off the top of it and it would air freshen the room. Can't remember, can't believe people have never obviously not so. I think you can see the problem. I managed to find a photo of the problem that I had as a QC inspector. There was a colour difference between the cap and the base. So one was yellow and it was not quite yellow and below. So marketing had a big meeting. My boss was sent to the meeting, and my job was to colour match these things. Now, the problem was that these things were so popular they sold out in seconds. So they ran commercials on the TV, and these things were like selling like hotcakes. So I was unbelievably busy trying to colour match all of these stupid bloody magic mushrooms. And in the end of the day, no one complained that there was a colour match problem. No customers returned the product. It was a huge hit. The company made millions. And here I spent weeks and weeks trying to colour match these things. And so I realised right then and there, it's not marketing that decides the quality. It's not my boss deciding the quality. It wasn't even me. It was the customer that defined the quality. So I was quite shocked when I saw that on there. It brought back such bad memories. So then, after a trip overseas, came back, I became a quality manager, and it's this point here that I got on the ISO journey and helped this company achieve ISO 9001. But just before then, this company is the one that decided, well not decided, this one taught me how to integrate their system. So back in 1990, we first rated an integrated management system that included health and safety, quality and emergency planning. And we called it our risk manual. So we were way ahead of our time, believe it. So the things I'm going to present today started out in 1990. This is photocopies of my business cards. I'm pretty sad. I keep copies of all my business cards. So then I became an ISO, an I.S.O manager. Not that that's an acronym. I don't know what that's an acronym for. Obviously pre-internet, there's no email address or no URL there. And then I became a quality control manager for a transport company. Then I joined Tate Electronics, which was the dream job. No, I've got an email address there now. And so I got a great background in quality from Tate Electronics, and they taught me a whole lot of things about systems. Now, this company here, Allied Telesis, well, was Allied Telesin, rebranded as Allied Telesis. So this was a Japanese company, and this one taught me everything about quality that I needed to know. And it was at a meeting. I had presented to the owner of the company. He'd come down from Japan. I presented him the quality system. It was it went absolutely swimmingly. And he got up in the meeting and said, "Craig, you have a very beautiful system. You have very beautiful procedures. I don't care about your beautiful procedures. We have customers complaining about the software. It is failing in the market. I don't care about your beautiful procedures. Customers don't care about your beautiful procedures. You fix these problems." So the customer was a big broadband network in Japan called Yahoo BB, 3 million customers, and in that it had 32,000 switches that we had developed here in New Zealand that had been sold there. Customers, obviously on its broadband, the broadband was slowing down and sometimes it was stopping. So imagine 3 million customers all at the same time not having internet, causing this particular company issues. So it was at that point I went, crikey, this quality system stuff isn't about procedures, it's about solving customers' problems. So got rid of the quality system, started all over again. We refocused the company, restructured the company, and first of all solved this particular customer's problem. We put 30 software engineers onto the problems, managed to get the issues right down, and restructured our whole focus on quality and completely refocused the whole company and directed them straight at the customer. After there, I then became an ISO auditor, and managed to visit 350 companies doing 9,000 audits, 14,000, 4801, but mainly I did ACC WSMP audits. So I was averaging 2 ACC WSMP audits a week. So I've seen every imaginable manual that you could possibly have. So the system, obviously, to get to the primary level of the program, you need to have a manual. You can just basically tick off to say you've got the primary case if you've got a manual. So I would turn up at these audits, and particularly in healthcare and rest homes and things like that, they would give me a table of documents. Say, there you go, there's our system. And I would have to try and wade through these manuals, realising at the time that these manuals were offering them absolutely no value whatsoever. All they wanted was that certificate on the wall. Trying to get them to understand that, hey, look, let's try and reduce the, I wasn't allowed to consult, of course, let's try and reduce the accident rate, but all they cared about was the certificate on the wall, and they had beautiful manuals, and they were lovely and pretty, and they had conditional formatting on the spreadsheets and things like that. So this was an eye-opener. Then 2007, I was auditing companies that were using Mango, and I thought it was a bloody good product, so I got drinking with the owner, Peter, who's down there, and after a few green bottles, we'd come to an agreement, so I bought half the company. So in my time in Mango, I'm also a quality manager for a couple of other companies, so I have contract audit. So here's a company out of Christchurch, down in New Zealand, down in the South Island. This company that I'm the quality manager for provides the cabin management system for the Gulfstream jet, 650 Gulfstream jet. 650 means $65 million is what the price of that is. But this 1.5-man company does the whole of the design, the manufacture of this particular device. And so I'm a contractor who comes in once a month to help them out with their quality systems because they have to meet Gulfstream's requirements. So I'm still in the quality game helping them out. But this is quite amazing, 1.5 people running a multi-million dollar company out of a little office. Manufacturing all done in Australia. Rightio. So if you were paying attention to Ray Avery on Monday, Sir Ray, he came up with 3 things about Kiwis that helps us with our innovation. We're great innovators. I don't think we're great at commercialising our ideas, but we're great innovators. The first one he said was, Kiwis don't like rules. So that's hard for us guys in quality and QHSE, because you write your beautiful manuals and your beautiful spreadsheets, but no one can follow the rules. Talking with Sean, sorry Sean to point you out, talking to Sean last night. Sorry Sean, I don't mean to do that. I think this is a common thing. Sean is on the senior management team at his company, and Sean looks after quality and he looks after health and safety. Sean has never read his manuals. Have you, Sean? Sorry to point you out, Sean. You've turned trouble. This is common. So Kiwis really, they just don't follow rules. They follow rules, but if they don't like the rules, they just go and do whatever the hell they like. Ray Avery said, secondly, they don't like the status quo, so they like changing things. They like changing it up and making it a bit different each year. So that makes it hard for us if we want consistency and compliance. Again, it's really hard for us in this quality game. So these are the challenges for us if we're coming up with the systems. People don't like the status quo, they like changing things. Change is great, but it needs to be managed to change. So that's a big challenge for us. But then this third one, this is a good one. We do dare to dream, so we're always wanting things to be better, always wanting to be making it better. So we're good on improvement, so big tick there. So those are sort of the 3 challenges for us here in Kiwiland, and maybe if you guys Fiji or wherever you are from, you may experience those things as well. So there it is. So in all my visits to different companies and talking, so in these ACC audits, you would have a focus group as one of the paths that you'd have to do. And fortunately, there was no management in the focus group. You would be talking with the workers And so I would always sneak in the question, so the health and safety manual, who's read that? No one would put their hand. But maybe the health and safety rep may say, oh, yeah, sort of. So why do we do these manuals? Why are we writing these manuals if these guys have give it no value whatsoever? So, but I put an almost there. When we do read these manuals, when do we actually read them? So we may read them at induction. When we're inducting someone, we'll say, well, here's the manual, go and read it. And I'll go off and read it, give it back to you. That's forgotten about it. So it'll be talked about at external audit. So an external auditor will come in and they'll say, well, show us your manual, and everybody dusts off the dust. There you go, there's the manual. Fantastic. So the external auditors maybe read it. You may read it during internal audit. Someone's coming around, what does the manual actually say? What do we do around here? So you may read it. And then finally, if something goes wrong, we always say, what does the manual say about that? What are we supposed to do? So those are the times when you would actually read it, probably. And other times, it just sort of sits there, giving you absolutely no value. Now I'll just take you into this slide. Anybody seen this slide? Everybody seen it? So this is the hierarchy of controls when you're controlling a hazard. And I think it's applicable for any type of standard, any type of system. First of all, the most effective control measure is you eliminate that particular thing that you're doing. Let's stop doing it. Let's not do it at all. You can't do that. Let's substitute it and let's do something another way. So, the printing company I was at, they were using pretty hazardous chemicals to wash down the plate after an ink run, after a print run, cleaning up the ink ready for the next run. They were using nasty chemicals. So we sat down as a team and a couple of guys went off to do the research, and they actually came back with chemicals that were non-hazardous and actually water-soluble and did a perfectly fine job. Cost a little more, but that was a great substitution method there to substitute something. Thirdly, engineering controls. This is where you can isolate people from the hazard, or you can come up with, go to the engineering team and say, hey, look, can you change the way we do this process, or maybe do some lean techniques, or some maybe some 5S or something like that. That would sit there under engineering. Next, down to almost the least effective control measure is administrative controls, and we're told that that's where your manuals sit. So your manuals are getting down into this least effective way of controlling process. So why are we still doing these manuals? What value are they giving? And then finally PPE is the bottom one. So I think this is reasonably applicable to almost all standards and almost all compliance. Why do we have these manuals? Now in Mango we do have a documents module in our system, but we pay almost no attention to it in terms of when we're selling the product. Support-wise, we get very few questions about it. We're wanting people to work through the rest of the product because of the workflows. Those are the things that you can actually do. Some of these other things, substitution, engineering controls, you can actually do those in those other modules. So those are the challenges with these documents. No one's reading them. They're really only for the auditors, and they're not very effective at controlling things. So I'm just sort of wanting you to sort of question your beliefs around these things. Rightio. So the third part of my talk, the second part of the talk is around the benefits of having these integrated systems. So integrating our systems, I believe we get better decisions made. We have more information. We can make better decisions based on what's being delivered to whatever you're making in terms of a decision. So integrating your systems, you're having more information, you're having better information. I believe you can make better decisions. So it's a great idea to integrate. People, once you've actually worked out what all everyone's responsibilities are with these integrated systems, you're less likely to have overlap between people. So that's how you'd integrate them, you'd work out what everybody's responsibilities were. I believe there's less duplication of effort as well. So you don't want to duplicate the audit program across 3 different standards. Why don't you combine them all together, and when you're out auditing, look at all 3 as you're doing your audits, doing that sort of thing. So a lot of duplication happens when you've got separate siloed systems. So when you're developing your systems, put all your objectives and plans together so that they're not conflicting with each other and don't contradict each other as well. So you can sort of put them all together and look at them as a whole and say, those objectives, are they conflicting with health and safety, conflicting with quality, and where's the environmental fit with this? Okay. Put them all together so that you can look at any contradictions. Better allocation of resources as well. So when you're providing resources, you can look at what are the major priorities for the business? Where should we put our resources? If you've got your systems all together, then your resource head quality and environmental. Let's put them together. Let's get some better allocation of resources into that system. So another reason to integrate your systems. Harmonising your methods and processes. So I went to an interesting discussion yesterday from the ladies from APQO, where they sort of harmonised. They had an environmental and health and safety and quality system. They're trying to combine it all together and meet those 3 standards. They were bringing in the environmental part into the other 2, and the engineers had never sort of been experienced with the environmental. But by bringing them all together and creating them all as one, they were harmonising their whole systems across 3,000 people. So it's great for harmonising all of those. Less documents. Less documentation. I'm not sure whether it's fewer documents or less documentation. Anyway, you can take your manuals, your documented manuals, maybe 200-300 pages. You can bring them down. As I say, I've given you one that's 59 pages. So get your documentation down. But also, if you're combining things, harmonising them, you can get some commonality, and you can reduce your documentation load. But this one here, getting the whole organisation to be aware of all of your systems all as one, and getting them integrated with your operational and business processes, makes everyone aware. It's just not health and safety, it's just not quality, it's just not environmental. It's all together as one. It's all part of our operation, it's all part of our business. Let's treat it all as one. Make everybody aware of it. So those are the benefits. Concept, I sort of talked about that one before. And the board, so this is something we're reasonably hot on at the moment, because my next webinar after, so my webinar on the 14th, I'm inviting a professional board director. He's a director across many companies. He's going to come on to my webinar and he's going to talk about this. So what do governments or boards require from us as QHSE managers and whatnot? What do boards actually require from us? What are they interested in? So hopefully if you combine all your systems together, then it will give the board a better understanding and clearer indication of the risks across the whole organisation. So look out for that webinar anyway, so we're talking about that. Okay, so finally let's get into, now, we've decided now we're actually going to create a manual. It may not have great value, but we're going to create a manual. So we need some sort of structure. So this is something from 1990. Sorry for the age of it, but it's still pretty stock standard. Your policies sit at the top. You set some objectives to meet your policy, and then you have some sort of high-level procedures. That if you do those procedures, you hit your objectives, and your objectives mean if you hit your objectives, you're going to hit your policy. Backing the procedures up is you fill out a whole bunch of forms and you keep records of those. And then right at the bottom, you've got a whole layer of low-level documentation around work instructions, SOPs and JSAs and any other acronyms you can think of. Sit down there. So where does the manual sit? The manual would sit at those 3 layers there. So that's what I'm talking about today. The rest of the stuff down there is forms and checklists, swims and all of that sort of stuff sits down there. that's the sort of structure. If you're following those, you're filling out the right forms, it means you're meeting your procedures, it means you're meeting your objectives, it means you're going to meet your company policy. So that's a documentation structure that's come from Kiwi Packaging from 1990, and I still use that today because I'm using it today. Okay, so this is the structure that I suggest you use. So sitting at your top of your manual, you set your policies, then your org structure, business planning, review and communication, continuous improvement training, you can read the rest. So those are sort of the core procedures. So at Ian Delling and Tony Stevenson's presentation yesterday, they were talking about their core processes. That's how I would see the core processes sitting in the system. And then below that, you would have separate compliance programs split out. Quality, health and safety, environmental, you can have food safety, you can have whatever you like, flavour underneath that. And then you put common procedures under each section. So like management review, internal auditing and objectives, we'll chuck that under business planning, review and communication. So common ones that are across all of those standards, let's work them up into that section. And any specific things that don't fit in the others, like hazard ID, assessment and control, is a possible procedure. You can chuck that under the health and safety section. Environmental, you've got aspects and impacts, you've got evaluation and compliance, you've got other bits and bobs you can chuck under environmental as well. So that's how they would sit under there. So what would it look like? It would look like something like that. You don't have numbering is quite low. Just watch it to make it look pretty, so I normally do these more like that. So the free download that you get at the end here has all of this information in it, and it's got all the all those procedures documented for you. So that's the sort of the top end. Then below that, you'll go into each of those there. I'm sure you guys are doing this already. If not, go for it. That's how you do it. And then underneath that, quality, health and safety, environmental, you can sort of chuck all that stuff in. Straightforward.
Why do you separate 10, 20 and 30? Why aren't they together? Why integrate?
I just think they're ease of use. I know it's an integrated system and you should put them all together as one, but I just think it's for people when they're viewing it, if they're all in one long list, they sort of, they don't sort of understand it and don't read it logically, then they'll see them all as one long list. If you sort of separate them into those sections, it's an integrated manual, so when it prints out as one long document, but it just helps for people to recognise, well, what am I doing? I'm doing a bit of health and safety. I'll go to the health and safety section.
Okay, thanks a lot.